So there's one comment that my art has been getting a lot lately, and it's, how did you go from this to this? And another comment that I get a lot lately is this AI or is this computer generated any type of way? And the answer is no. There's one thing that really changed my art over the last few months, or really the last, I'd say, month and a half, that really allowed my art to stand out and allow me to hone in on my skills a lot more than previous. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is, so that way you can do the exact same thing. One thing I noticed about my art from previous years is that it was very cartoony, it felt very animated, it felt very unfinished, unrealistic, and they always felt like I was masking bad art with it being stylized. Like, if the art didn't look exactly the way I imagined it looking, or if it didn't look good enough, I would just justify it by saying, oh, it's stylized. And I think that a lot of other artists fall into the exact same trap. And in reality, what's going on is that they actually don't like what they're working on, and stylization has become a justification for the lack of skill that one has, instead of them just developing the skill and drawing it the way that they actually see it. And so with my most recent art, I decided to do things a little different. Growing up, I always liked to create more realistic style pictures. I always liked to create more structured paintings or structured drawings. I liked metals and architecture, and I really enjoy, at the same time, creating humans. And so one day I was actually playing Cyberpunk 2077, and it kind of hit me, why not just draw machines or robots or cyberpunk characters or a cyberpunk style? And so I did. I went on Pinterest, I typed in cyberpunk females, and one of the first ones that pulled up was a reference for this picture right here. And at the time, I didn't really realize that I was going to continue with this style or keep going with this sort of category of drawings. It was more so just like, let's just try it out and see what happens. And so I did, and I really enjoyed how it blended my style of art with a lot of realism, so I could make the metals look as real as I could possibly make them look, while also keeping the speed of which I was drawing with before. And so I did my first one, and I thought it turned out great. I did my second one. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as the first one, and so I tried something a little different with the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And honestly, after my fifth or sixth piece like this in February, I decided, why not just niche down and become a cyberpunk artist? I was enjoying art again. I didn't feel the justification of explaining that my art wasn't done by saying it's stylized. I didn't feel like the art was bad in any way. I honestly, for the first time in years, felt proud of what I was doing and what I was getting accomplished, and I was doing it at a relatively quick speed. I started gaining a little bit of followers. I was stuck at 170 followers for like a year and a half on Instagram, and over the last month I've added about 500 followers, which isn't a lot, but it definitely shows that when you choose a certain direction to go, people know what to expect when they see your art, so people start to follow. There's a lot of cyberpunk fans out in the marketplace, and being a cyberpunk fan, I figured, why not just make art for those people in that community? And so with all that, guys, I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I would like to say that I think the absolute best thing that you can do with your art, especially if you're wanting to take art to the next level, if you're wanting to take it serious and build a fan base, if you're wanting to make any type of money from it, if you want to really just do more than keep your art as just a hobby, I think the absolute best thing that you can do with your art is niche down. Find a category that you want to draw, that you can draw, and just become the guy for that specific category or niche. And I think a lot of people do this anyway. I think it just, you do it consciously, it allows you to choose the direction that you want to go. I look at some of my favorite artists like Wlop, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, WLOP, Guways. I look at Sam Does Art, Jackie Druco, a lot of these guys. And one of the biggest things I've noticed about their art is that it's the same, it's predictable, you know what you're gonna get, and when you see their art, it fits their style. It's like, you know that Sam Does Art is probably gonna draw a female and she's either going to be in armor, she's going to be walking around the city, she's going to be doing something in the clouds, or she's going to be simply sitting in a car just looking out the window. You know what you're going to get when you go to his page. And when you see his art anywhere, you know that it's his. And so for me, I just wanted to do the same thing. I want my art to be something that people can predict, people can expect, and people know what they're going to get when they click on my page. And also it helps me out too, because I would spend hours scrolling through Pinterest, trying to figure out what I was going to draw, who I was going to draw, what it was going to look like, what references I needed, and end up frustrated because I would go an hour not knowing what to do, and then I would end up just scrapping the whole thing, scrapping the whole idea, and end up with a piece that I didn't want to draw from the beginning. And then I would rush through it, take an hour and a half to draw something that I would then justify as it being stylized. And so I hope this video helps you guys. I hope you decide to go from this video and find a category or a niche that really fits your style, your personality, and what you love and like out in the world. So with that, guys, I am wrapped up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.